In exercise number 2.3, we shall be learning how to solve quadratic equations by factorization method. So in this particular exercise, we are going to learn how to solve by factorization method. Now let's look at the example. Square minus 13x minus 30 is equal to 0. So you need to understand that we need to find two numbers. We need to find two numbers such that when you multiply, you get 30. So you should be getting a 30 when you multiply. And this particular sign, which is that of subtraction, it tells you, the minus sign tells us that on subtraction you should be getting 13, 13. So you need to find two numbers such that when you multiply you get 30, but when you subtract you get 13. So you should be knowing that 30 comes in many tables like 31 are 30, 10 3s are 30, 15 2s are 30, etc. So 10 plus 3 is 13, but we need 13 on subtraction. So 10 and 3 are not the numbers that we require. So I think we should be using 15 and 2 because 15 2s are 30. At the very same time, on subtraction 15 minus 2 we get 30. So our required numbers are, the splitting is 15 and 2. Now this variable x is just to be written below it. This is a rough column. This sign is that of the bigger number. So remember, this is the sign of the greater number, the bigger number. So this sign will go to 15. So 15 will have the minus sign. And minus is plus. The mixture of the sign goes to the smaller number. So the smaller number will be plus 2x. So if you see properly, minus 15x plus 2x is back to minus 13x. And if you see, minus 15 multiplied by positive 2 will give us negative 30. So this tells us that our splitting is correct. So once you get the correct splitting, we shall continue. Therefore, x square minus 15x plus 2x, that is, we have written it from the rough column, minus 30 is equal to 0. So let's take the first two numbers together. Therefore, we can take x common, x minus 15, and in these two we can take plus 2 common because both these numbers go in the table of 2. X minus 15 is equal to 0. So as you can see that since the splittings were correct, x minus 15 itself is common, and we have x plus 2 which were written outside the brackets. This is uncommon, so it is written in the other bracket, is equal to 0. Now it's important to understand that either the first bracket multiplied by the second bracket is equal to 0. So either x minus 15 is equal to 0 or x plus 2 is equal to 0. Therefore, if minus 15 comes from this side, it will become plus 15. So 0 plus 15 is 15. So either x is equal to 15 or x is equal to minus 2. Plus 2 comes from this side, it becomes minus 2. Just for those who found this a little difficult, let me put in this way. X square could be written as x into x, and minus 15x could be understood as 3 into 5 into x. So you could see that x is common in these two, and therefore x was taken as common, and what remains inside is x minus 3 5 is 15. Similarly over here, plus this could be written as 2 into x, and 30 could be written as 2 into 3 into 5. 2 3s are 6, 6 5s is 30. So you can see that 2 is common, and what remains inside is x minus 15. Always remember that this plus sign will always come down. This plus sign will always come down. Okay, so let's have a look at the other sum. X plus 20 upon x minus 12 is equal to 0. So first of all, we shall multiply x on both sides. Always remember, we need to put this in the standard form of ax square plus bx plus c is equal to 0. So whenever you have a denominator, you should multiply that denominator on both sides. Or if there are more than one denominators, you should take the LCM of the denominators and multiply them on both sides. So multiplying x on both sides, we get x into x is x square. 20 upon x multiplied by x is 20 minus 12 into x is 12x and 0 into x is 0. It is something like this. X into x is x square. X into 20 upon x is x and x cancels. So we have 20. 12 into x is 12x and 0 into x is 0. Let us erase this again. It is okay if you don't show this. Now let us write this in the standard form. Therefore, x square minus 12x plus 20 is equal to 0. Now, we need two numbers such that on multiplication we get 20. So we get 20 on multiplication. This is that number. On multiplication we get 20. And on addition, means find two numbers such that when you multiply you get 20, and when you add, this sign shows that whether we should add or subtract. So where it's add, we should be getting 12. So find two numbers such that when you multiply you get 20 and when you add you get 12. So I think the numbers are 10, 2s are 20 and 10 plus 2 is 12. Now again remember, this is the sign of the greater number, bigger number. So over here 10 is a bigger number, so 10 will get the negative sign, and minus and plus is minus. So the mixture of the sign goes to the smaller number. So we have the splittings as follows. We have minus 10x and minus 2x. So we can rewrite this as x square minus 10x minus 2x plus 20 is equal to 0. Therefore, we can take x common in these two, in the first two, and we can have x minus 10 common. Now remember, this sign will come down, minus, and both these numbers go in the table of 2. So again 2 common, and we can write the first bracket as it is. X minus 10 is equal to 0. Now we can take the bracket which is repeating as common, x minus 10 common, and x minus 2 which are written outside the bracket as uncommon in the other bracket. So x minus 2 is equal to 0. Therefore, either x minus 10 is 0 or x minus 2 is equal to 0. So x minus 10 is equal to 0 or x minus 2 is equal to 0. I'll tell you why. Because let's say x minus 10 is a first number a and x minus 2 is another number b. When you multiply two numbers, you get a 0. So either it means that either a should be 0 or b should be 0, because if a is 0, 0 into b is 0, and if b is 0, a into 0 is 0. So either of the two is 0, either a or b. That is why we are writing either x minus 10, the first bracket is 0, or x minus 2, the other bracket is 0. Therefore, x is equal to minus 10 comes from this side, becomes positive 10, and 2 comes from this side, becomes minus 2 comes from this side, and becomes a positive 2. So let's go to the next sum. Over here, x bracket open 2x plus 3 is equal to 35. So first of all, we shall multiply this x, supply this x to both the terms. We shall open the brackets so that it can be written in the standard form. So x multiplied by 2x is 2x square plus x into 3 is 3x is equal to 35. Always remember, the standard form is ax square plus bx plus c is equal to 0. So all the terms are on one side and 0 is there on the other side. So we shall take this 35 on this side so that it is in the general form, standard form. So 2x square plus 3x minus 35 is equal to 0. Now you need to pay attention that this time the coefficient of x square is not 1. In the previous sums we had 1, but this time it's 2. So it's very important that we multiply this 2 to the last term. So in simple words, always multiply a and c. So if a is 1, 1 into c is c only. So that is why we didn't multiply in the previous two sums. But this time it's very imperative that we multiply 2 and 35. And 2 35 is 70. So we need two numbers such that on multiplication we get 70, and on this sign says subtraction. On subtraction we should get the middle number 3. So I believe it's back to 10 and 3. 10 and 7, sorry. 10 7s is 70, and 10 minus 7 will give us a 3. That's right. So I'll write x, the variable, this one, this variable. Now this is the sign of the greater number. So we will write plus 10x, and again plus and minus is minus. So we'll write minus 7x. The mixture sign is to the smaller number. So I'll just remove all these markings. So now what? Though over here we wrote 70 directly, we have to write 2x square and minus 35 as it is, and no need to write 70. But instead of writing plus 3x, we can write plus 10x minus 7x. Now again take the first two things together, the first two terms together. So we have 2x common, and we'll have x plus 5. Remember 2 5 is 10. And this sign comes as it is below. And we'll have 7 common, and again we'll have x plus 5 is equal to 0. If you open the brackets, you'll get the other two terms as they are. So we can repeat the entire bracket if the splitting is correct. Now we shall take x plus 5 common, and 2x minus 7 uncommon is equal to 0. So over here, either the first bracket x plus 5 is equal to 0, or the other bracket 2x minus 7 is equal to 0. So if x plus 5 is equal to 0, we can state that x is equal to minus 5. Or if 2x minus 7 is equal to 0, we can say that 2x is equal to minus 7 comes on this side, 0 plus 7 is 7. And 2 and x are multiplying with each other, so 2 will divide over there. So there are two answers. The first answer is minus 5, while the other answer is 7 over 2. Now let's go to the next sum. M square minus 84 is equal to 0. Well, there's something different about this sum. The difference is m square minus 84 is equal to 0 can be understood as m square plus 0m minus 84 is equal to 0. So this time the middle term b is missing, is absent. So we need to treat such sums differently. So whenever the sums are in the form of ax square plus 0x plus c is equal to 0, or simply saying ax square plus c is equal to 0, we need to treat them in a different manner. And now I'm about to show how are we going to treat them. So we are going to use this particular formula. A square minus b square, just ignore this c right now. A square minus b square is equal to a plus b multiplied by a minus b. So we are going to convert m square minus 84 as a square minus b square, or if you are not comfortable with a square and b square, x square minus y square, and that is x plus y, x minus y. So we are going to rewrite this as m square minus 84 as m square as it is minus, now 84 is not a perfect square, so we will write this as square root of 84 the whole square is equal to 0. So the square root of 84 the whole square is back to 84. Now this looks like a square, minus b square. So this square root of 84 is a b, and the answer is a plus b, a minus b. So we can rewrite this as yellow plus blue, a plus b, yellow minus blue, which is a minus b. Now we suddenly have two brackets before us, and both the brackets are multiplying over here. So either m plus 84 is 0, m plus root 84 is equal to 0, or m minus square root of 84 is equal to 0. So we're almost done. So m is equal to, take this positive square root on that side, will become negative square root of 84, or take this negative square root on that side and it will become positive square root of 84. Now, is this over, or can we do certain other things? So let's just factorize this 84 in the corner. 2 4s are, 2 2s are, 2 2s are, 2 1s are, 3 7s are, and 7 1s are. So we can write the square root of 84 as square root of 2 multiplied by 2 multiplied by 3 multiplied by 7. So we can see that there is a 2 that can come outside, and 3 7s are is 21. They do not have any other pair. So we can rewrite square root of 84 as 2 square root of 21. And similarly over here, m is equal to 2 square root of 21. And now this sum has ended. So I'll just show you another type. Let's say the sum is x square minus let's say 25 is equal to 0. So we can rewrite this as x square minus 5 square is equal to 0, because 5 square is 25. 25 is a perfect square. So we can rewrite this as x plus 5, which is a plus b, x minus 5, which is a minus b. And that means either x plus 5 is equal to 0, or x minus 5 is equal to 0. So the opposite of plus 5 is minus 5, and opposite of minus 5 is plus 5. Remember, this particular method is factorization method, because this sum can be solved by other method also. But if the paper says use factorization method, you need to use this particular method only. It's a compulsory thing. Now let's have a look at the other sum. X square plus 5x is equal to 0. Now there is some certain something different about the sum also. Now this sum looks like ax square plus bx plus 0 is equal to 0. So here we can rewrite this as x square plus 5x plus 0 is equal to 0. So this time the value of c is 0. So we need a different way to solve this. In fact, this is a very simple sum to solve. So in this particular sum, no need to split, no need to use a square minus b square is equal to a plus b minus b. What we can do is simply take x common, and we can write x plus 5 is equal to 0. So it means either this x is equal to 0, as if it is the first bracket, or this x plus 5, which is the other bracket, is equal to 0. So either x is equal to 0, or x plus 5 is equal to 0. So plus 5 goes on the other side, 0 minus 5 is minus 5. So we directly get the answers, 0 and minus 5. So no splitting the middle term this time, and no taking a square minus b square also. So remember, whenever we have c is equal to 0, we should use this particular method. And whenever we have b is equal to 0, we can use a square minus b square that we saw in the previous sum. Now let's have a look at this last sum. X square minus 3 square root of 3x plus 6 is equal to 0. It's almost like the previous sum. The exception is there is a square root of 3 over here. So find two numbers such that when you multiply you get 6, which is the last number, c. And you should be getting 3 square root of 3 on addition when we add it up. So we know either 6 1s is 6 or 3 2s is 6, but there is no square root of 3 anywhere. What are we going to do is, we are going to split this 3 as square root of 3 and square root of 3. So what are we going to do is, we are going to multiply these two together, and that will become 2 square root of 3, and this square root of 3 will be left alone. So let's have a look. When we add, we get 3 square root of 3. Yes, 2 square root of 3 plus another square root of 3 is 3 square root of 3. And when we multiply them, so 2 into square root of 3 into square root of 3. So root 3 into root 3 is 3. 3 2 is 6. Then this is the sign of the greater number, which is minus. Minus and plus is minus. And we can write a x below it. It's just a rough curve. So let's start. So x square minus 2 square root of 3x minus square root of 3x plus 6 is equal to 0. Then we have x common, x minus 2 square root of 3. And what should be common in these two? So the better idea is, let's first write the bracket x square 2 square root of 3 is equal to 0. And let's copy down this subtraction sign also. So if this x were to go inside and this negative is outside, the square root of 3 should come outside. So we have square root of 3 common. So if you multiply square root of 3 to both these terms, you will see that you'll get the previous line. So that's correct. Therefore, x plus 2 square root of 3 common, x minus square root of 3 is equal to 0. Therefore, either the first bracket is 0 or the other bracket is 0. So minus 2 square root of 3 comes on this side, becomes 2 square root of 3. It becomes positive, and this also becomes positive. The negative square root of 3 comes on this side and becomes plus square root of 3. I hope you understood this. Thanks for watching.